Let's start by comparing the Outlander with the Honda CR-V. Helping me with our comparisons today is Derek Ross, professional driver with Track Time. Thanks for being here, Derek.
Great to be here.
You know, when I think about the Honda CR-V, although they made some improvements and added some horsepower, this vehicle just says minivan to me. Why is that?
Well, that makes sense. We've got the minivan look, the styling of a minivan, but smaller. We've got a tall roof line. We've got an overall boxy appearance.
And Derek, compared to the tall, boxy look of the Honda, the Outlander has a lower roof line and a much sleeker design.
So our tall roof line, large boxy appearance. We've got wheels and tires. Let's take a look at them. These are a 15-inch wheel and tire. Now, it's a small wheel and tire combination. It's the largest that's available with this vehicle. Combine that with a large roof line and boxy appearance. Very much says minivan.
And the Outlander has standard 16-inch wheels and tires, and combine that with the lower roof line and sleek look, this vehicle says SUV all the way.
We've also got raw plastic used throughout the vehicle, on the front bumper and throughout the trim on the entire vehicle. The roof rails, very utilitarian style. Combine that all together, it all adds up to a minivan.
You know, Derek, you're right, because the Outlander is finished with painted bumpers and door handles, European-style side indicator lights, tubular sport rack, and a custom clear taillight lens that I don't think you're going to find on any minivan. So we've seen how the Honda's exterior says minivan, but you know, Derek, when I look at the interior of this vehicle, it says minivan even more.
Gene, you know you're right. I'm going to go inside the Honda and I'm going to show you why.
Okay.
Well, for starters, with the Honda, we've got a plastic steering wheel. It doesn't feel very sporty to me.
Now, by comparison, this Outlander XLS comes with a leather-wrapped steering wheel that not only looks sporty, it feels great too.
Now, let's look at the shifter. It's mounted on the dash. It's old style. That's a minivan feature.
But there's nothing old-fashioned about Outlander's Sportronic transmission, and it's right in the console where it belongs. I'll bet Derek would like this a lot better.
Now let's look at the parking brake. It's up here on the dash. You pull it back. It's very difficult to actually use. It's something like out of a big truck. It's very utilitarian.
The Outlander has the parking brake in the console, right where it belongs. Nothing truck-like about this.
And now for the icing on the cake. Instead of a center console, we have a pass-through from the front seats to the rear. That's straight out of a minivan.
Well, look at the Outlander. It's got a great-looking console and sporty dash and gauge package. Nothing about this says minivan.
Shortcuts. As you said earlier, with trucks, the fundamentals are more important, and you will understand that better as we get through the day here. So I want to review the fundamentals real briefly. Turn, if you would, to page 6 in your playbooks. At the top of the page, research tells us that there is a relationship between price and value. And that relationship says that a consumer will not make a purchase decision until the value of the product in their mind, the perceived value, equals or exceeds the price of the product. Now, traditionally in the car business, and especially recently, what do we do to make that relationship happen? We lower our price. We give them an employee discount. Folks, there's good news about Mitsubishi right now. They're not doing that. That really is good news for a lot of reasons. We can talk about that a little bit later. But also what happens when they do that is it goes like this too. The value goes down too. We all know that. Some consumers know that. But the perceived value does drop. What your job is to, during the process, build this up to reduce that gap. And when you do reduce the gap, there are a number of benefits. Can somebody tell me one? You get more gross. Exactly right. Thank you. I got an educated group here. That's great. You get a happier customer because what happens? They feel better about the purchase. And you know what else? You shorten or reduce the negotiating time because you don't have to spend as much time. The gap isn't as big. Now, what are the things that we give you at Mitsubishi to help you build value. Well, one of the things you mentioned is process, all right?